Hello, my name is Sergeant Nate Griffin. I'm with Professional Touch Fitness, and what you're about to see on this video presentation is a 30-minute workout for the busy professional. Now, I'm quite sure a lot of you have heard the opportunities that people said just go by them because they don't have time to work out. What I've done is put together a series of calisthenic exercises that you could do right in your office space, if that's all the space that you have, and if you only have 30 minutes to work with, you'll be able to do all those routines right there. Now, who I have with me today is Mr. Matthew Burns of Burns Construction. And he's actually going to be doing some of the demonstrations and the exercises here because, just like many of you, he is a busy professional. How you doing, Matt?
Good, Nate.
Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is just have you get yourself situated. I'm just explaining to them exactly what we're going to do here. Now, we're in Matt's office here, and we're using some of the chairs. We'll be using the desktop. Just using some of the furnishing and some of the objects around here in the room that you can actually exercise with. The advantage of that is that you don't need to have to go to a gym, which can take up a lot of your time. So if you have pretty much an hour lunch break to work with, that first 30 minutes you can use to do your workout. It's not necessarily designed to break a sweat, but if you're like me and sweat pretty heavily, you may want to have an extra t-shirt and shirt and towels handy just so after the workout you can freshen up before you have to begin the rest of your day. So we're going to start pretty much from head to toe. We're going to do the push-ups first. Now, of course, with the spacing here, you can do the traditional push-ups flat out on the floor. Now, for you ladies who prefer not to or find the traditional push-ups a little difficult, Matt's going to demonstrate doing the push-ups on the desktop. So he'll lean up against the desk with the legs here. Matt, if you would. And this here, you'll be able to work the chest, the triceps here, and the front part of the shoulders. He's keeping his head up straight. He will lower himself down, very controlled, pushing back up. Now, of course, you don't need lessons in doing push-ups, but just to show you how they can be done properly on a piece of furniture right in your own office. As he pushes up, he will exhale out, keeping his back straight, keeping his abs in tight. All right, so this way he's actually getting a chance to work the whole body and come up, Matt. Now, if he really wanted to make it a bit more challenging, he also can do the push-ups with his feet resting in the chair and his hands down on the floor. Makes it a little bit more difficult to do that. All right, now moving from the chest, going to the shoulders, we're going to get a chair here, and Matt will bring that over, grabbing hold of it. Now, Matt, if you would, I want you to grab hold right about there on both sides. And what he's going to do is a modification and drop down to your knees, if you would, because Matt's kind of tall. And he's going to do a modified version of the shoulder press, or a military press. He's going to bring the chair up, overhead, and coming straight up, keeping his back straight, abs in tight, lowering the chair down now, elbows a little closer to the body, and pressing back up. Keeping the glutes squeezed to give him support for the lower back. Okay, let's give me about 5 of those, Matt. Exhaling as he presses up, lowering the chair down, breathing in, pushing back up, and lowering it back down. Keeping the control, not to rush, and lowering it down. All right, Matt, and on your feet. Now, the next one, using the chair as well, going from the shoulders to the biceps. Here, grabbing again, right about here on the chairs. Here, keeping your feet about shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, takes a lot of stress off the lower back. Matt's going to come up erect, and he's going to curl the chair up, doing the bicep curl, and bring it all the way up, and down. Here he gets to work this aspect of the arm, the biceps, and because of the angle that he's holding the chair with, he's also doing what's called hammer curls, so he's working the forearms as well. All right, he has a slight bend to the knees, as I said before, which will help keep a lot of the stress off the lower back. All right, Matt, and the rest of that down. And now, to work the back end of the arms, or the triceps, we turn the chairs around here to do the tricep dips. And basically, fortunately, he has 2 durable chairs here that he'll be able to hold on to from the ends here. What Matt is doing here with his weight evenly distributed between the 2 chairs of the tricep dips, this is a bit more of a challenge because both of the feet are up off of the floor. He's working the back end here of the triceps. He's not dipping down too low to add a lot of stress and tension to the front part of the shoulder. Also, while doing the tricep press, and you come up now, man, he's also getting to work the chest as well. Now, if for someone who's trying these, doing them with both feet up off the floor, pose too much of a challenge, you can actually rest your feet on the floor to give you a little bit more stability, a little bit more of a chance to improve on that end. We'll come over here to the table now, Matt. Have seat right here. Now, what he's going to do, now again, bear in mind, these exercises that we're doing is not to take the place of working out in the gym. But when you find your schedule is so busy and you really don't have the time to get to the gym, and so you're going to be away in your hotel room for a week or two or something to that effect, it's better than doing nothing at all. So this gives you an opportunity to do something as a form of exercise. He's going to do the leg extensions, which will be working the upper portion of the leg, or the quadriceps here. Now what he's going to do, keeping himself supported on his desk, he's going to bring his feet straight up, squeezing at the top and then lowering back down. So when you come up, bring the toes up towards you this way. Right. And right back down. Now you do 25 to 50 of these. After a while, you really start to feel the burn from the contraction that you're doing. And that's exactly what you're looking forward to do. All right? So in the beginning, you may feel this is very light. I'm not really feeling much of it. Well, if you also want to add some resistance to it, you can put a couple of books right there across your feet to kind of add a little bit more attention to it as well. All right, Matt? And on your feet. Now, standing right to here, going to work the calves, or the back of the legs. And facing this way, Matt, here, I want you to hold on to the side of the desk here. Now, while holding on the side of there, he can come up on the one leg, resting himself there, coming up on his heel to actually work the back end of his left foot, his left leg as you work. All right? And so in doing these, you can do 10 to 15, 15 to 20 of these to work your calves. You don't need the weights on your shoulder. You don't need a calf raising machine. You can actually do these on your own. You do the same amount on each side to actually work those two particulars out. All right? Just make sure you keep yourself well supported on each one. All right? And now, we've covered the chest. We've covered the triceps. We've covered the shoulders. We've covered the biceps. We've covered the quadriceps. We've covered the calves. We've got to cover the hamstrings. And so to work those without having to do deadlifts, just so happens Matt has his briefcase here with the company payroll in it, of course. And what we're going to do is have him rest the briefcase right there. He's going to do what's called, and I'll actually turn this angle here so it's a little better to see where we're going. These are called the single leg deadlifts. And what Matt's going to do, put one foot up towards the bed, bend that right knee, and then bring his left foot right back far to the heel of the right leg. He's going to keep his left leg straight. He'll reach all the way down, and you go ahead, Matt, grab hold of the bag, and coming straight up. And leaning back just slightly, and then back down again. Keeping that right knee slightly bent. Here he gets to work the lower back. He gets to work the glutes. He gets to work the hamstrings as he comes all the way down and all the way up. You do 10 to 20 of these. You should start to feel a little warm sensation in that lower portion of the back. They're not designed to be done fast. You want to take your time as you do them when it comes to the lower back. All right? And then you will alternate each leg. Okay? Ready, Matt? Now, the quadriceps, hamstrings, the calves, the chest, the triceps, the biceps, the shoulders have been briefly touched. Now, you have each one of the body parts that we've worked on. You can do 3 to 4 sets of each one. You can do it in a circuit type of formation where you do 1 set at each station, make your way back around, or you can do your 3 to 4 sets at each station individually. And when you get done with that, you want to kind of stretch everything out a little bit. And the advantage of that is to kind of help you get yourself prepared for the rest of your busy day. So again, starting from head to toe, we're going to have Matt do a neck rotation where he's rotating his head in one direction 3 times all the way around. And then afterwards, he'll go 3 times in the other direction. And during this time, you could have some of your soft music playing in the background. You know, some easy listening stuff like something from Megadeth, Black Sabbath, Metallica. You know, something to kind of get you ready for the rest of your day. You know, a little Jay-Z, you know, a little Nate Griffin, you know, something in there that you can throw in there to listen. Now the next, working with your shoulders, rotating the shoulders back and forth. Now I like this particular one because as you rotate your shoulders up, you can kind of squeeze the traps back here in the back here, the upper muscles in the back of the neck, 3 times to the rear, then 3 times forward to really rotate them. You're kind of getting your mind relaxed, getting that first portion of the day out of the way. Alrighty, and then relaxing. Now you got your feet relaxed, you place your hands on your hips. This is the hip rotation. Just a slight gyration 3 times in one direction. This has been nicknamed the Elvis Presley movement here. And then 3 times in the opposite direction. Alrighty. Bringing the feet together now. Going to the knees. Grabbing just slightly above the knees. Doing the knee rotations. Very gently. Just rotating the knees in one direction. Then rotating them in the opposite direction. Alright, and coming up. Now, grabbing hold of the side of the desk for support, you'll be able to stretch out the quadriceps. So he'll grab hold of one foot, keeping that knee that is bent close to the supporting leg, and pulling back as far as he can comfortably, keeping the upper part of his body straight while he stretches out this portion of his quads. You will hold these stretches that we're doing here for 5 to 10 seconds, right? And then switch to the other side. It's very important to try to get as much stretching as you can in, even if you don't exercise. All right? And relax. And now we've taken care of the quads. And we're going to do the hamstrings now. And what he would do here, with the feet together, extending the right foot, bending the left knee, taking the left hand, reaching down towards the right foot. And here he gets to stretch the calf, as he keeps the leg straight, and the hamstring. Again, holding the stretch for 5 to 10 seconds. Now, this is called the static stretch of just holding. Then there is the ballistic stretch. That is not a good stretch to do. You can switch to the other side, Matt. The ballistic stretch, unless you're like a martial artist, a dancer, or a gymnast, someone who's very flexible and familiar with those types of stretching, and the elasticity in their skin is very good and their flexibility is good. Those type of stretches are really not that great, especially if the muscles are cold. You run the greater risk of muscle sprains and strains as well, and pulling of muscles. All right? Okay, Matt, thanks a whole lot.
Thank you.
So basically, the workout that we have designed here, again, is not set to get your heart rate up. Although if you paced yourself to do so, doing them at home, doing them at the gym, you can work your heart rate up to where you're actually burning the calories. It's simply designed to give you something to do as a replacement for a short time for your workout that you normally would do if you were back home at your gym. So you have an opportunity to spend about 30 minutes to get your workout done, and another 30 minutes to relax, get yourself ready for your clients, and get yourself situated. We've gone through one set of each one of the routines, and Matt hasn't even quite broken a sweat. All right? So just want to let you know that before you give up on the opportunities and possibilities of working out, you can still get your workout in. You can try to go around these rotations 3 to 4 times to equal up your 30 minutes. We've covered all these different routines, but I got a little one for you that I think you might like. We've covered every body part except the abdominals, one's core. All right, what Matt's going to do is have a seat on the desk here, and we're going to do alternate knee raises. Now we're going to do 2 versions of these. This is a little bonus piece for you. Now, first he's going to lean slightly back, one leg is extended, and the other knee is bent. And he's just going to alternate the knees, okay? And go ahead, Matt. Alternating the knees. Not rushing, taking your time. While he's in this position, he's keeping the tension on his abs. All right? Now this is the beginner and intermediate. Now, as gracefully as possible, Matt's going to remove his hands from the desk, folding them across his chest. Now in this position, the tension is exclusively on the whole midsection. All right? Here he also gets to work the hip flexors and the quads, as well as the lower back and the abs here. All right? And relax. If you find doing this particular one is a bit difficult on your lower back, then forego doing them without the hands and let your hands be there to brace yourself. You can also always do the traditional crunches, but we try to do the exercises without needing to lie on the floor so you don't get your uniforms or your outfits all soiled and everything to that degree. All right? So just wanted to let you know that these are the workouts that you can do. You put them together. You can increase them by amounts of repetition, amounts of sets, shorten your rest period moving from one segment to the next. If you find you're starting to build up a sweat and you're not looking to do that, then you might want to do one, take a 30-second break, then do the next routine, 30-second break, and then the next. All right? So this is Sergeant Nate from Professional Touch Fitness to you. Don't make excuses. Make it happen. Thank you.